luck, the definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And that's exactly what's going to happen for you.
This is Don't Fear Grit with Rob Taormina. Marketing strategies and advertising technologies to help you build a better business.
Hey guys, welcome back. I've got a really amazing guest with me. We with my agency Talk IQ Media, we've worked with a lot of car dealerships, but we've yet to actually feature someone from the automotive industry here on the show. And I've got someone local to Long Island that we're featuring today, and I just want to welcome to the stage. I want him to introduce himself. He's got an amazing story. So not just car people, but music people. There's so much we're going to unpack here. This is definitely going to be a show for everyone, so stay tuned for the length of it. But welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey man, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
honestly,
you.
it's a pleasure. We've been
Appreciate
talking for that past few months on LinkedIn, going back and forth.
Yep.
And we finally got you in here, so it's pretty
we have
exciting.
common interest, and I respect what you do. My name is Jason Godsmark. For people who don't know me, I'm the general sales manager at North Shore Honda. Been in the car business for about a decade, just under. Love the industry, love my customers, and look, I'm excited to do this. I really am.
Very cool. There's two things already that you just said that I want to hit up on. Number one, you hit you said the decade mark. Mm-hmm. There aren't a lot of people that can share that experience where they've lasted a decade in anything. There's always this high turnover across job industries across the country.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot of loyalty into a particular industry or across the country as well. So right there, I want to just unpack this a little bit. You've been in this industry for a decade. The automotive, by the way, listen, for anyone who's not in the automotive industry, this is a hard industry.
Yeah, it is.
There's lots of opportunity. It's a great industry, but it's difficult, right?
Definitely difficult.
You've been in it for a decade. You've reached that mark, my friend. You should have like an award. Like, where's your decade plaque?
There's got to be a plaque somewhere. Look, it's what I've even in my own life. I mean, I'm gonna sound old here, but I've gone through phases too where I've had lack of patience, and I think patience is key in life, especially business. Being able to not be majorly successful at something overnight and stick with it is huge.
Respect timing.
Absolutely. You have to respect timing and the process, and I had a choice but didn't have a choice with respecting the timing and being patient. I had 2 kids early in the process of being in the car business. I've just got my feet under me. Yeah. My first son was born, and look, I mean, my children have been the biggest motivating factor for me in my career and in my life. And they taught me so much, but one major thing they taught me is what we're talking about now, which is patience. Yeah. And just being patient and saying, look, if I'm not majorly successful, if I'm not the general manager in a year, it's okay.
Right.
That doesn't mean that I failed at this.
It's true.
It means that it's going to take me a little bit longer.
Right.
And I'm excited to where I've come and how far I've come. Yeah. But I'm also very humbled by the entire thing and by the opportunities I've been given by my store, by the owners, and how gracious they've been with me, and how understanding to the learning curves and everything. And I'm very blessed in that aspect. Yeah. I've been very blessed to be put with such a great group that respects their employees, that has one-on-one time with them, that helps me grow. I mean, they've helped me grow substantially. So I'm excited.
It's incredible. So, all right, you're the GSM. That stands for General Sales Manager. Now, you don't just start off as a GSM.
No.
You've got to work up that ladder. Yeah, so where'd you start? Like, what was your first role?
In this store?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I had a little bit of sales experience in the business.
Okay.
And I started as a salesman in the pre-owned department in the store. Right. And this was about, let's see, because it was 2 years in between. So this was about 7 years ago.
Okay.
I started as a salesman in the pre-owned department.
Okay.
And I kind of got thrown into it. Like, look, you blew us away in the interview. Go out, do your thing. Yes. We want you to establish a style here. You'll notice I came from the South Shore to the North Shore.
Oh, okay.
So any Long Island people will know that
there's a big difference.
There's a huge difference. The experience you have with customers on the South Shore.
Yeah.
When you go over to the North Shore, it's kind of like, okay, look, wrap it up, throw it away. You know, you have to learn that there's a special type of clientele out here, and look, you know.
So you were sensitive to understanding that.
I was I had to be.
Yeah.
I had to be.
That's
you know?
key. I think right there, that's one takeaway already from this episode is understanding your market, not being arrogant about the process and the product, but understanding your market. Which
arrogance is a pretty common thing in my business, and it's something that I needed to. I'm going to take a quote from Gary Vee.
Yeah.
In not hearing the cheers or the boos.
The Pope of marketing.
Absolutely.
By the way.
Needed to stay focused, and you know, if I sold, you know, if I was the number one sales guy for months in a row, I needed to say to myself, look, I've not accomplished the main goal yet.
Yes.
And I need to know my market. I need to expand my network. And the only way to do that is truly understanding the clientele, respecting what it is that makes them happy as a customer, and is going to make them, you know, it's the experience of, you have a bad experience somewhere, you tell 50 people.
Yes.
You have a good experience, you tell 5.
I know, it's weird.
You know, it is weird. And it's the Yelp era.
Right.
And it's you need to understand your clientele, and it's something that I made an absolute priority to do. Yeah. Because it's important. Yeah. Very important.
Incredible. So, all right. So you hit your decade mark. You've been rewarded. You're the GSM now. That's incredible. Obviously, you know your stuff. I mean, I could tell you clearly know your stuff. You're really humble about it, which I think also is contributing to your success in this particular industry, and why you probably have developed a very loyal base of customers that just prefer you. I guarantee you, honestly, we've never met outside of talking on LinkedIn and today. I've never been to your store, but I guarantee you, just by talking with you now, that you probably have customers that are willing to drive 30, 40 miles just to come to your store to experience a sales experience with you.
Yeah, I take pride in that because, look, you can drive 5 miles away from your home and get, you know, and not know what you're going to get, right? Yeah. I think the key is knowing what you get. Look, what you see is what you get with me. Yeah. You know, I pull no punches. Yep. I make it very clear to the customer that this is what you're getting. Yeah. This is the value you're getting. I believe that to be a very strong aspect of sales is feature, functions, benefit. Yeah. You know, showing a customer what they get. Look, what you see is what you get. Yeah. This is the value that I provide. And look, when you leave, this is not the last time you're speaking with me. Right. Look, I don't care if I'm the GSM, the owner, you know, the car god. Yes. If I sell you a product or service, afterwards, I'm still here with you. Right. That's important. And you know what? I think lot of people in this business fail at that.
Yeah. That's the big differentiator these days. It's not the product, right? So let's be honest. I know you guys are a Honda store, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So a Honda vehicle at your store versus a Honda at another store, they're identical.
Absolutely.
So the product is not the differentiator. No. And I think what customers are expecting, their expectation is they want their experience to be superior than anywhere else. No question. And this is where a lot of people fall short, and why you are excelling, because you care so much about the process, the experience.
You have to. And you know what? I know I sound, when I say you have to, well, this is a simple concept everybody should get. I'm happy that everybody doesn't get it. Yeah. Because it allows me and my group and my team, which I have a very strong sales team, I'm happy that they all understand it. Yes. Because it is an experience. Look, like you said, you can buy a Honda from dealership A or dealership B. Yeah. Okay? Dealership A is going to sell you the same product as dealership B. Right. The difference is the experience, the delivery, showing them the car, making them feel like you come with the car. Yes. That's a quote that I got from a colleague in this business that I've known since almost the beginning. Wow. Is I come with the car. Right. And it's really a great way to go about it. Look, if you have a problem after you take delivery of this car, I want you to know wholeheartedly that if you reach out to me, you're not going to get the runaround. Yes. You're going to get an action.
Right. Well, first you're going to get an answer.
You're going to get an answer, right?
Right.
And then you're going to get an action.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing next.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I want to add something, and I want consumers to understand this. Getting a sort of like concierge experience after the day of delivery. After you get your car, there's value. There's actually, in my head, there's a monetary value to that they're not being charged for. And so if someone is out buying a car, knowing that you can get the same car at multiple different dealerships, what you need to do is, what dealership is going to literally be my partner through this entire process?
Right.
Because there's a monetary value. You're going to have questions. Right, you're gonna right. Cars need to be serviced, right? You want to get special treatment,
absolutely,
right? And or how about this? You got people in your network; they have questions too. To be able to have someone be like, "I've got a guy," that first of all, that makes me feel good. If I got a guy,
absolutely,
that whole line, that's a real thing,
absolutely,
right? And be able to have a guy that I trust, that if I pass my number off, that you're going to treat him like gold. There's a value,
and not embarrass you,
It's huge. So you got to understand who you're buying your car from is a big deal. Not just what you're buying, it's who you're buying it from.
And I don't feel every customer feels that. I don't feel like every customer has that same loyalty and awareness. But, and I feel that that's the reason why salesmen in this business sometimes, and I'm not going to generalize anybody, but a lot of salespeople I've come across in this business feel that because a lot of customers don't have that, they say, well, you know what, I'll sell them a car and I'll move on. Well, you know what you're doing? You're continuing the process of them feeling that way.
Right.
You could change
You're contributing to the problem.
Exactly. I have changed the perception of customers from look, my loyalty's to me and my pocket, not to you, Mr. Salesman.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I appreciate that. And I say to them, look, if I were you, I would feel the same way too. However, when I'm done here, if you still feel that way, then I haven't done my job.
Yeah.
Because my job is to show you that I care. Look, I could sell people. I'm a salesman, right? I could sell you a car.
Of course.
The car that I want to sell you, right? And I don't mean to sound cocky when I say that, but I could sell you the right car for the dealership.
Sure.
Okay? What's going to happen when you sell the right car for the dealership is the customer is never going to call you again.
No.
Because
your retention rate's going to go down.
Your retention rate's going to go down.
Yeah.
When you make sure that you make it a priority to sell the right car for the customer, it changes the ballgame.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
does.
From a marketing side of it, right? So we actually calculate all of our strategies based on this one thing called LTV, lifetime value. What is the lifetime value of a customer? We don't try to go after the one hit. Because that's like a one-trick pony. So what is the potential lifetime value? Let's now draft a plan to send it around that. Because a customer, first of all, if you've got a customer for life, that means you got that individual. Let's say it's John Doe, right? A 30-year-old guy, and he buys a car from you. Then all of a sudden, 2 years later, his wife. Then 15 years later, their kids.
Yep.
There's a lifetime.
John Jr., James
oh
Jr.,
my
you got
gosh,
'em all.
that's where the value is, and that's where not even just the automotive world, in business in general, they go off of the sale. They go after just the sale, not understanding this particular customer, client, patient. There's an LTV that you need to be attacking. You get it.
Goes back to patience.
Yes.
Goes back to patience.
Yes.
Why would you care about LTV? Is funny too because it's loan to value in my business. You say LTV, I'm like,
what?
Are we talking about financing now? LTV is only important to a salesman in the eyes of the beholder if you see yourself in the long haul. If you see yourself doing this for good, if you have the patience to persevere through the bad months.
Yeah.
The months where you live check to check, the months where, everything you did right last month is not working for you.
Yes.
When you can persevere through that, that's when you start to see that lifetime value.
Yes.
And that's when you start to care about the perception of the customer 3 years down the road. Like, this is something I don't understand. A lot of salespeople will lease a customer a car this year, and in 2 years and 6 months, they are not on the phone. And I say to myself, what has to go wrong with somebody's thought process for them to say, you know what, let me recapture what I've already captured.
Right.
It's like catching a fish in the water, throwing them back in the water inside a net.
Right.
And then not pulling that net back up.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
Why would you do that? And you know
Yeah.
why? I think that sometimes, and I'll try to get into the psyche of the everyday car salesman.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes they feel that I didn't do the right thing 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 years and 6 months ago. And if I didn't do the right thing, or I didn't answer their phone call when they called me about their tire pressure light.
Sure.
Tire pressure light.
Yeah.
A tire pressure light could prevent the dealer from getting the retention business.
That's crazy.
A tire pressure light. It's important.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying you have to be married to the customer, but certainly dating would be a start.
I love that. Dating your customer.
Dating your customer.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
you know, I want to make sure everything is going well with
Yeah.
you. I want to make sure that you're happy with your car, with your product or your service, whatever the case may be. And if there's a concern, an issue, a question, I need to be there, period.
Yeah. Well, how about this? I'll level it up even more to give everyone some perspective here. How about the fact these people are plunkering down, what, $30,000?
A lot of money.
So I would think that, and anywhere else in life, if I'm plunkering down $30,000, I'm going to get a level of certain type of respect or treatment, right?
Absolutely.
In the car business, people plunker down $30,000. You drive away, it's like, see ya. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think that those salespeople that understand the culture of, you know what, this was a big investment. I want to help this person throughout the process. That car salesman needs to understand that particular customer will be your customer for life.
And
you'll never have to
personal
spend.
gain.
Oh my God.
Personal gain aside, in this specific circumstance, meaning the profit you made on customer A, if it was small, okay, that doesn't mean that you give them small service.
That's right.
That's the thing. Okay, so I made, a big profit on customer B.
Yeah.
So customer B is going to get my undivided attention.
Yeah.
You know what? If you go off of that mentality,
Yes.
then customer B will be neglected eventually too.
It's true.
Because you're not dedicated to your customer.
Yeah.
You're dedicated to your personal gain.
Absolutely.
And I've learned putting personal gain. No, I don't want to say that I'm not opportunistic and I'm not out to make myself a nice living and to be successful and all of that, because I am. However, I plan on being successful on the backs of my loyal customers and following.
Yeah.
And so far, it's been successful for me. Look, there's a lot of growing I still need to do.
Yeah.
I'm humbled by the recent promotion that the owner of my store and the general manager, the owners, I should say, and the general manager believe in me so much that they believe that I can take this next step and do this job not only well, but be a strong leader for my team, for my peers, is extremely humbling. Of course, there's still more for me to learn. And look, I always feel like if I go to sleep at night and I didn't learn something new, then I failed that day.
You have to be in a constant state of learning.
Absolutely.
No matter, even if, let's say, you hit your goal, it doesn't stop.
No.
You have to have this like no complacency sort of approach to life.
Absolutely.
You hit a goal, and that is simply meant to be a stepping stone to your next one.
Absolutely.
You know,
I have this thing I write in because I write a daily goal book, and it's next to my bed. And
Love
whatever,
it.
Right? Wake up in the morning, I write some things. I go to bed at night, whatever, I write some things. And I always have this thing that's whenever something is consistent and constant, and I will write the same things, I'll say, you know what, those are like the key points to my life. I always write set goals, hit goals, smash goals. And to me, it's always like set a goal, reach that goal, and then exceed.
I love that.
Power through it,
Holy
smash
cow.
it. You know,
Yeah.
If as a salesman, I set a goal of 15 cars, I don't hit 15 and then take the last week off.
Right.
And sometimes the general manager or the manager of the department when I was a salesman would say, "Look, Jay, you do 20 cars on the 20th, take the last 10 days off." You know,
What?
as like a joke.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Meaning like, look, you know, you're in a small department.
Oh, I see what
we're
you're
not
saying. Yes.
we're selling 40 used cars total. Like, for you with 4 other guys, for you to hit 20 cars would be. And I remember this is a great story actually, and I'll keep it short. I had my pre-owned manager said to me when I was in pre-owned sales, he said to me, "What are you going to do this month?" He's going around asking goals, and I said, "I'm doing 20." And I remember him looking at me like, "No, seriously, what are you going to do?" And I said, "I'm doing 20." And he goes, "Look, if you do 20 cars, You tell me what you want, and I'll get it for you. And I said to him, I want that watch on your wrist.
No.
I swear on everything.
Wow.
And he goes, you serious? He says, it's yours. You do 20 cards, it's your watch. So,
Holy cow.
So I go, all right, take it off now. Put it in your drawer. Right? And on the last day of the month, I delivered my 20th car. I mean, it sounds like I'm making this story up because it's like, well, on the last day of the month, like it's not 2 days before. It's not, you didn't come close and then fail the movies, right?
Yeah.
The last day of the month, I delivered my 20th car and pulls out a box. He had the box ready.
No way.
Matt Adler.
What?
One of my mentors in this business.
Holy cow.
Great friend still to this day. He handed me the box with the watch. And you know what I do still to this day? On the last day of the month, the last couple days of the month, if I'm a little bit away from my goal, I come in with that watch on my wrist.
Is that right? Nice little reminder.
Nice little reminder that,
love that
the goal is not only achievable, it's not only possible, but it's probable.
Yeah.
And it I don't always hit it. Sometimes I go home, I put the watch on my dresser, and my wife goes, "What's the matter? You didn't hit your number."
Yeah.
My wife knows exactly when I hit my number and when I didn't. But
is the watch out today?
Is the watch out today? Did you put the watch away or did you leave it out? Do you think you're gonna hit the goal or not? But that's the
love it, man.
Look, I believe that life is a culmination of things like that. That just keeps you driven.
Yeah.
I am very big into admiration and, what I listen to, this podcast being one of them. I've listened to many episodes of your podcast. I listened to Lewis Howe's podcast. I listen to Gary Vee's podcast, Grant Cardone's podcast. And I listen to it every day because it gives me, it's almost like I'm the car and that's the fuel. And it gives me the fuel I need to say, you know what? Buckle down, even when the goal isn't in eyesight. It's still achievable. You'll get over the horizon. You'll get to the goal. You'll accomplish it. So well
said. Wow.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Look, it's very important that I remain this leader for my team. If I come in and I feel the goal's not achievable, I always say this to salespeople as they're going to give a customer any type of news. Let's say a customer wants $1,000 for their trade, right? And the trade is worth $200. I tell the salesman, I say, go over with confidence. Because if you go over with an apologetic tone,
that's how it's going to be received.
That's how it's going to be received.
I say that all of the time.
And
I agree with that.
You lost the battle before you even strapped up your gear and fought.
Right.
Go over and say, look, I have great news. I was able to get you $200 for this car.
Right.
And look, it's not because the car's really worth $1,000 and you're giving him $200. No. You're giving him what the car is worth. And I believe in that. Very much so. I don't believe in hidden, tricky ways to form a profit. And that is one of the differentiators of my store to some of my competition. Is I don't believe that you need to trick somebody into giving you profit.
No.
I'll say to customers sometimes, look, I'm going to say a P word, and it's not a bad word.
Right.
It's profit.
Right.
Look, these lights.
You got to pay your bills.
They're not on because, I gave the product away. Look, I give you a product, a service, and an experience.
Sure.
And with that.
A fair exchange.
Fair exchange.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
100%.
Yeah.
No question.
Now, listen, you guys have clearly done a great job of creating this culture of caring at your dealership, which you don't get at a lot of other places, especially when maybe it could be like a big auto group where it's like this template approach and a high turnover, whatever the case may be. But you clearly have this culture of caring. Tell us a little bit about this culture, the owner. Like, how did you guys create this sort of culture?
So, Mr. Mark Broadlieb owns North Shore Honda. He has been the owner for 30 plus years. It's one of his babies. He treats this store just like that. He cares about the store. He's present in the store. He's there to support his managers. His son-in-law, who's the heir that will take over the throne, Jake Starnes, is also incredibly supportive.
So it's not just family owned, it's also family run.
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%. Jake and Mark are both very supportive of their management staff. They are an open ear when we have concerns, issues. they are not. I've worked for several groups, and one thing I'll say about the group I work for now is, if there's an issue, we don't need to hide it from ownership, because ownership wants to buckle down and help us conquer this issue, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're extremely supportive of what we need. Bill Binninger, our general manager, is extremely supportive. He has a cutting edge approach that him and I plan on taking to the next level, and just saying, you know what, look, our customer retention is so good.
Yeah.
And it's good for a reason. It's because this, and this has been working for us. So what we need to do to make sure that we scale this business even further is we need to fix this, and this. At the same time as not jeopardizing the success of this, and this.
There you go.
And Bill, Jake, Mark, myself, we all see that vision. And it's very difficult for there to be a group of managers and owners in the same room that all see the vision clearly and identical. Yeah. And that helps. Yeah. I mean, and look, there are things at times that, we're all human, right?
Yes.
There are things at times that we may not see, the same. Yep. And we have discussions, management meetings, and we make sure that we get through it. And that we all get on the same page and we move forward. Yeah. And that helps, because when we're managing a staff, one thing I've experienced in this business is a manager will come in on a Saturday, and this isn't my store, but stores I've worked at. Yes. A manager will come in on a Saturday, right? The biggest selling day of the week for those who don't know the car business. Right. The biggest selling day of the week is Saturday. Okay? They'll come in on a Saturday morning for a meeting at 8:30. Guys, went out Friday night, whatever. They're tired still. They woke up early to show up to this meeting, right? And what's the first thing that they get? Criticism. They get yelled at. They get told everything they've been doing wrong. They get told every problem they didn't fix.
Right. It's a predictable cycle.
It's a predictable cycle. Yeah. And I've been in multiple stores, and they're all the same way. And I never understood, from a salesperson's perspective, right, on the busiest day of the week, why would you
set the tone like that?
Why would you deflate your guys? Yeah. So I've always made it a point. I started at the store I was at before North Shore, which was my first management gig. I said, you know what? Look, what am I going to do as a manager that I thought was wrong as a salesman? First thing I did was, I'm going to go in and motivate them on Saturdays. Wow. I'm going to come in and I'm going to tell them everything they did right. Right. I'm going to tell them how close they are to their goal. Hey, Jim, you're at 12 cars. We have 5 days left. You're going to hit 20. Hey, John, you're at 8 cars. Sure. You're going to hit 20. You know why? Because you guys are going to pound your customer base. You're going to do the job. You're going to grind hard. And you know what? Luck, the definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And that's exactly what's going to happen for you right
Bro,
now.
I want a job. Like, I feel like I'm ready to sell a car right now. I'm going to go back to the dealership with you. I'm telling you, I'm going to put like a nickel out. I'm going to put 5 cars out on the road. Holy cow. That's exciting.
Look, it's wow. I always felt it was important. And I don't discount that. I walk in and I say, look, if I'm not motivating my team, then what kind of leader am I?
Wow.
Honestly.
Incredible. By the way, I mean, we've got, quite a few people in the automotive business that listen to the show. A lot of them are going to probably want to work for you guys, but I'm sure there's not a lot of opportunity, because whoever works for you never wants to leave.
There's always opportunity, because there's always expansion. There's always growth. Yeah. We're taking on a new, a whole new customer base and different marketing strategies and different things. So there's always opportunity. So look, call me. Yeah. Get in touch.
Right.
Let's go.
You're always open probably to the phone call.
Absolutely. Look, if I can't help you with a job now, I would love to have a session where we talk about your growth. Yeah. I really would, because I take great pride in training and training my
investing
staff.
Into relationships.
Investing into relationships. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love to take somebody who is green but motivated and help them with some guidance to get to the end result. I love that.
So you actually get involved and help the person through the process, and
Honestly, I wouldn't be me if I didn't.
Wow. Because a lot of places it's just trial by fire. You got the job, go ahead and figure it out. And that's not you, apparently.
That makes no sense, right?
That makes no sense. I agree. I'm just saying that's just the market.
Or I'll do you one better. They will set a software up.
Yeah.
And they will tell their salespeople, finish this software, do the tests. And once you pass, you're ready. Come on. Look, I was not the greatest test taker in school.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned from school is process of elimination. Okay? And when they let you take the auto tests over and over and over again, you'll get the answers
Eventually, you'll get it.
Eventually, you'll get it right. And
you didn't learn anything, though.
Am I saying that everybody does that? No.
Yeah.
But look, a guy who might have just worked for a company that got laid off, that needs to make immediate money, that comes in, and the first thing he's told is, before you can go talk to that customer and help yourself and your family, you need to pass this software. That guy is going to run and gun and figure out what he's got to do to get through that the fastest.
That's a great point.
Now, if I can help that same guy hands-on, okay, on the floor with the customer. Look, I'll go take a customer. GSM. What does that mean to me? That means that I am a leader, okay, and I am an example. So I'll go out with that guy, take that customer, teach him on the fly with the customer. Let the customer know we're in a training process right now. Look, we will make sure that this training does not jeopardize your experience. And I'm going to help this guy because that software didn't help him. Look, the guy, I'm not putting down everybody's training software. I'm not doing that. But in this business, a lot of the time these guys want instant gratification. And when they don't get it, that's when they move on. The high turnover rate is for many reasons. But one reason is, I couldn't get it up. What do you mean you couldn't get it up? Well, I got on the floor on Monday, and, they have politics of the store where the guys
seniority
to get every up, or they made me train for 3 weeks, and it was this software. I sat in this room and I learned nothing from it. I mean, that's 3 weeks of salary you're paying a guy to not get to the point where you need him to get.
So
and
it's also creating a bad mindset.
Absolutely. It's a flawed approach, and I in my store, and with the support of ownership and the general manager, Bill, they are fully supportive of this approach of saying, you know what, we're going to train these guys the right way. Get them on the floor. Get them selling. Get their motivation up. It's important. Very important.
I think anyone in a management role, it doesn't have to be automotive industry, but I think automotive represents a really good litmus test for this. If you are struggling with like high turnover, if you're struggling with getting performance out of like brand new staff, everything that you just outlined, I think corrects a lot of that. That investment, that initial investment on the front end to train them to be successful, to encourage them, to get them into the right mindset will benefit you long term. So if right now you're struggling with those two elements, change it.
Absolutely.
Just change it. Don't be stubborn.
It seems like a pretty simple concept, right? Find a problem, find a solution. It's the car business the automotive industry as a whole has had so many, like even the process. I mean, the process, let's just start there. Meet and greet, walk around, test drive, consultation. This is how you approach the consultation. That hasn't changed in 100 years. Now, for somewhat good reason, because I do agree that you should meet and greet somebody, shake their hand, look them in the eye, tell them your name, find out their name. But it's not, you can't say that a walk around for John, who came with his daughter, it's going to be his daughter's first car. That walk around is the same as Jim, who is 22, financing his Honda Civic Si or Type R. And you can't say that those two walkarounds are identical. And the automotive industry's training platforms have taught us that this is the system, follow it, and you'll be successful. And I just don't, and I feel that is contributing to the high turnover. Because the guy says, wait, so I'm supposed to go through the crumple zones and the side curtain airbags and all the safety features, and I'm supposed to go through 8 panels with Susie, who's 19, and really, and I'm not trying to generalize anybody, but Susie, who has told you she only cares about the tech, the backup camera, the Bluetooth, and the streaming audio, like, you're gonna lose her right away.
Right.
So when you lose her and you don't sell her a car, and the system failed you, I mean, what's to inspire you to tough it out?
Yeah.
It's true. But imagine you have somebody who's committed to your success that says, okay, look, this is the approach you should take. Susie comes in, you give her a small interview, not a pre-qualified, but a small interview. You find out what's important to her, and then, hold on, this is going to be groundbreaking. You show her.
What a novel idea.
What a novel idea. She cares about tech, backup camera, Bluetooth and streaming audio, and Apple CarPlay. So you go and show her the wheels, the trunk space, the side curtain
Let's
airbags.
not listen to her.
Let's not listen to her. Something I've learned, and I've probably learned this 1,000 times, and I don't know that I learned it 1,000 times. I certainly heard it 1,000 times. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Use them in proportion. Listen twice as much as you speak.
Great advice.
And it's for any salesperson. A lot of salespeople want to go, all right, look. Jab, 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 jab. Right hook, jab, jab, right hook.
Yeah.
Like, how about take a couple punches?
Yeah.
Learn the offense of your opponent. And then figure out, and I'm not saying that it's a fight, but you know what I mean.
Abandon the cookie cutter approach.
Absolutely.
Period. Abandon it.
Period.
Yes.
Period. Go for the I'm going to learn what it is that's important to you, Mr. Customer. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you the value for what you want.
Yep.
Period. You want Apple CarPlay? I've worked with 10 salespeople in the past 3 days, okay? So your chops, don't use them on me, all right? What's important to me is that my daughter gets Apple CarPlay. Okay, Mr. Jones, I totally understand it.
Yeah.
So let me show you this Civic over here. Okay, great. Oh, it's nice. It's the color she wanted too. Yeah, absolutely. It's nice, Mr. Jones. Does it have Apple CarPlay? No, not this one, but there are models that... What?
And then they're shocked that they don't sell the car.
And they're shocked that they don't sell a car. The customer made it very clear that this is what's important to me. Now, what the salesperson will tell to the desk manager sometimes is, well, he also said he wanted to spend $15,000. Okay, well, then what you need to do is you need to lay the foundation.
Right.
Mr. Jones, I want to make sure that I'm listening correctly and that I'm serving you properly. Okay, you said that you want Apple CarPlay. Unfortunately, in the models that come with Apple CarPlay, they're going to be slightly over your budget. Do you want to still see that vehicle? Yes, I do. That doesn't mean you have to tell them this is the price.
Manage expectations.
Right, manage expectations.
That's all it is right there.
And you know what? He says yes, and guess what? He just bumped himself.
Yeah.
He now wants to spend $17,900.
Yeah.
Or at least he may think he's going to spend $25,000.
Right. And the thing is, I know everyone's like, "Oh, you guys are making it sound easier than it really is." It actually is not rocket science.
No, it's not.
Listen.
It is actually as easy as it sounds.
It really is. It really is. Honestly, people just need to abandon their own arrogance and their stubbornness. And if you're in a position of sales, just listen to your customer.
Seriously.
Listen.
What you said right there.
Listen to your customer, because first of all, customers are more educated today than ever before, right?
Absolutely.
We're dealing with an educated consumer base.
No question. And you know what? Sometimes they are extremely educated, but sometimes their education platform was wrong.
Correct.
Right? So they may be on Kelley Blue Book, and Kelley Blue Book might be telling them their trade-in is worth X amount of dollars. Instead of going to Kelley Blue Book's instant cash offer feature, which will tell you what it's really worth, it gives you like a vague thing, right? So sometimes it's not about abandon arrogance, I love.
Yes.
Because there's an arrogant way to approach that. Look, Kelley Blue Book, Mr. Customer, doesn't write the check. So stop using them as the end-all, be-all. No, that's not the way to approach it. This is how I would approach it. Mr. Customer, Kelley Blue Book is a great tool for people seeking out the best value. Let me show you what part of Kelley Blue Book's site will show you the most accurate representation of your trade-in. I mean, a less arrogant response to a customer, the least arrogant, the better.
They'll respect you more.
They'll respect you more. They'll respect you at all.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a customer walks in with this preconceived notion that car salesmen are all bad. So when a car salesman goes over and is a self-fulfilling prophecy,
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
don't be shocked at the outcome at that point.
don't be shocked at the outcome.
Right.
When you go over and you show them that you care and you don't take the jabs that they give you.
Yeah.
You know, look, many times customers have called me all types of names without calling me names,
Right.
you know? And I've taken it and said, you know what? It's like the girl that you have a crush on, right?
Yeah.
And she wants nothing to do with you.
Right.
Okay? And can you just take that loss and say, you know what? All right, she wasn't all that important anyway. Or do you see her as a potential wife?
Right.
You know? And I know that's a little bit much.
Yeah,
But
no. I get what you're saying. It's true.
you pursue it. You take the lumps.
Yes.
You take the no.
Right.
And you help
Yeah.
craft it into a yes. And for some reason, car salesmen sometimes will say, you know what? Look, the guy doesn't want to hear anything I have to say, so forget him. Move on to the next. No. Win him over.
Absolutely.
Win that customer over.
Yeah, I want to give a little trick to people too. Now, this is not a universal truth because I don't think any two situations are identical, but I think a really great trick to shock people into a place where you can earn their trust a little bit faster is to acknowledge what they're saying and apologize. You want to actually get someone's
a
attention.
Salesperson?
I'm not.
You're
not.
a marketing.
I'm a marketing
whiz,
guy.
But you know way too much about salesmanship because that is so true. That is so true. You have to do that because it's essential. It's essential to overcoming objection.
Yeah.
It really is.
Absolutely.
It's so
I agree.
important.
I agree.
So important.
So listen, you're honestly, like, you're brilliant with people. You understand people. I want to get a little bit more into your background. Let's go back. Let's rewind.
Absolutely.
You know, prior to this decade mark, because I know you've been in the business for a while now. You know, what were you doing prior to the automotive industry that led you to be so good with people?
Another story that's going to sound like it's not real. So, I've been a hip hop artist since I'm 9 years old.
Whoa. 9?
9 years old. I wanted to make hip hop music since I knew what music was.
Wow.
I was so inspired by it. And if my mother can be the next guest on the show, she would tell you that I was banging on pots and pans.
Wow.
Taking a little tape recorder. I know, I'm aging myself. Taking a tape recorder, recording it while somebody banged a Tupperware in the back, making very horrible rap music. But I stuck with it because I was so motivated by the music.
Yeah.
The fact that I could make music and listen to it
Yep.
and listen to what I wanted to listen to was such a wonderful thing for me. So, you know, it grew into my mom got me turntables with a microphone input that I could connect to my computer, which was just through an aux cable to the back of the computer, recorded through Cool Edit Pro, and be able to listen to my music. Wow. I'd play the vinyl had an instrumental on the other side, so I'd play it, and I made music. It grew into releasing an album on iTunes with. Let me back up a little bit. I was working in the automotive industry, selling cars. I mean, cleaning cars, detailing, because I needed to make money to support this real big habit I had of wanting to get all of the recording equipment I can get.
Sure.
To be able to produce, to engineer, and to make music.
You were serious about
all
it.
on my own. I was extremely serious. 16, 17.
Yeah.
I was going to be the next big thing in rap.
Listen, I believe if you want people to take you seriously, you have to take yourself seriously.
Absolutely. And I totally took myself serious. So I started working as a auto detailer and would listen to my music in people's cars while I was cleaning them, doing the interior, you know, start to critique myself because, you know, you're your biggest critic. And I left my CD in a guy's car one day and was like, oh, man, like, is this going to get me fired? There's bad words on there. Like, what is this going to do?
Yeah.
And didn't hear anything for a couple of days, you know, and stopped getting worried. I just figured the guy took the CD and threw it out, whatever.
Okay.
About a week goes by, and this guy comes back. His name is Frankie, and he goes, "Hey, you guys cleaned my car the other day. Whose CD was that you had in the car?" And I'm like,
now you're panicking.
I'm like, why? And he's like, because I love it. It's phenomenal.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people in the club and bar scene that I can get you booked. He says, I'm giving you my phone number. When you're out of work, you need to call me. This branched out into a relationship. Frankie introduced me to my mentor, Tony Mastroboni. He runs a Cash for Cars facility out in Long Island, one of the top Cash for Cars guys in the country. He does he has a nationwide auto broker business where he does lease deals.
Yeah.
He does pre-owned cars, servicing. He's been a huge mentor in my life and my career.
Yeah.
And one thing he never does is he never sugarcoats anything for me. He's helped build my self-awareness up in a major way. And I never would have met him if I didn't have humility enough to say, I'm not the biggest rapper in the world yet. I need to take a job. And cleaning cars, throwing out garbages, whatever needs to be done is going to be done.
Sure, it's a means to an end.
And I met him, and he got me so far in music. We opened for Fabulous, Red Cafe, DJ Envy, Ray J, Slick Rick, Naughty by Nature. I mean,
holy
it
cow.
was an old school.
You're dropping some serious names.
Yeah, we opened for a lot of big names, and he got me, pretty far with it, and there were a lot of bumps along the road. I was very young. I was, young and foolish, and made some mistakes naturally. Took some lefts when I should have made some rights.
Sure.
But fast forward a little bit, Tony stuck with me through the wins and the losses, and he mentored me through it all. And he said, "You know what, Jay? You should consider getting back into the auto business." And I said, "Oh, okay. I'm willing to do it. I need money. Well, what can I do?" And he said, I have this dealership that's a pre-owned lot that you can work at. You can sell cars." And I said, "Okay, I'll do it." Tony introduced me to that job. He introduced me to North Shore Honda because he knew the pre-owned manager at the time. And I took a job selling pre-owned cars at North Shore Honda, and the rest is history. I was able to grow from a snot-nosed kid to a professional.
Yeah.
I was able to turn some of my weaknesses into strengths.
Yeah. Because you embraced opportunity.
I embraced opportunity, and you know what? Even when I was arrogant and thought I was above something, I had my mentor there to say, "You're not above anything.
Yes.
You are above nothing.
Yeah.
Look at yourself as on the ground floor."
Yep.
Okay? If you want to get to the penthouse, you need to get on that elevator or get on that staircase because the elevator's down and start climbing.
Yes.
And you know what? If you land on the third floor, you need to do what's necessary to get back to the staircase. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And he mentored me through it and helped me so much get to that next step. And then, North Shore Honda, look, I'm very fortunate to have landed in such a great store.
Yeah.
Because not many guys can say, I've worked for the same store for collectively 7 years.
And I still love it.
And I still love it.
Yeah.
And the relationships are still there, and they're not severed. And I've been extremely fortunate in that respect. And look, from hip-hop music to general sales manager.
Wow.
I mean,
it's amazing.
I've grown a lot. And, I still have some growing to do, but I love learning, and I love my customers, and North Shore Honda has been nothing short of amazing in my automotive upbringing. I'm excited.
Incredible. Honestly, your story is incredible. I mean, we could probably talk forever, and we're going to have you back lots and lots and lots to unpack all this stuff.
I will come back whenever invited.
I'm telling you, there's definitely more. There's definitely a lot more that you're not telling us here.
There's some more, for sure.
And plus, man, you just roll with these nuggets. Out of nowhere, boom, golden nugget. I wish I had my notepad here. It's incredible. One thing that I also want to just highlight to people that you just said is if someone's in a rut right now, or if you're in a place where even if you're doing okay but you want to start leveling up, I think seeking out a quality mentor that could be your accountability partner is the key to doing that. You can't You don't have to do it on your own, and it's so much harder to do it on your own.
That's so uniform to every business. It's not even funny. We are talking automotive business, but in any industry, seek out a mentor. Look, I'm getting involved right now in masterminding, and it's something that I'm making an absolute necessity in my successful upbringing to seek out a mastermind group and find people from different industries. And look, mentor each other, help
collaborate.
each other collaborate. It's so important. And finding a mentor that'll help guide you through the ups and the downs. And the ups, I say, because look, sometimes the ups get to our head. Sometimes the instant gratification makes us think that we can abandon the process. And a mentor doesn't let that happen. A true mentor says, get back on the trail.
Right.
You have to. It's important.
Yeah. Good advice, man. I love it. Listen, I want to give you an opportunity right now because you delivered so much value, and honestly, thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable and transparent about a lot of this stuff. I think there's so much in this particular episode that we can learn from, automotive or not, than just general leadership here. There's so much here. I love this episode. Absolutely fell in love with this episode already. But do me a favor, if you could just tell everyone where they can find you, whether it be like LinkedIn, social media, more about where you work. Let's give everyone all those details right now. Yeah, please.
So you can obviously find me at North Shore Honda. I'm the general sales manager of the store. I would be absolutely happy to help you at any given time with your automotive needs, whether it be finding the right car or getting out of a current situation, whatever. You can find me on LinkedIn at Jason Godsmark. That's Godsmark. You can find me on Instagram at JayGodz. That's JGods. Facebook the same way, JGods. And hit me up. Let's talk. Let's collaborate. I would be thrilled to speak with some of you and bounce some ideas off each other. And if you have some sales questions, I would love that. I'm going to be doing some Instagram live where I collaborate with some people, so I would love that. I'm starting a training platform soon, so let's talk. Let's collaborate.
Love it.
Love it. Let's network.
Do me a favor. Define the word grit to you.
Grit. I would say having the mental toughness to persevere through the downs and to just hustle and keep your eyes on the prize. That's what I would say grit is to me. Not being afraid of the lows and embracing them and just tough it out and hustle.
Love it, man. Well done, man. Cool, Thanks so much.
No, my pleasure,
honestly,
man.
Pleasure to have you. And again, I know I said it before. I want to say it again. Thank you so much for just unpacking all that stuff for us.
No problem. My pleasure.
You gave us some serious detail, and I loved it.
I appreciate doing this. This was great.
Very cool, man.
Awesome. Thanks,
all right,
man.
Everyone needs to follow him. If you are in the market for a car, you should call him, whether it's a Honda or something else.
Absolutely. I
think this gentleman here, sitting next to me right here, has integrity. And he's someone that can absolutely point you in the right direction. He's someone that you guys can trust. So find him wherever he's working. And if you're a leader and you're looking to level up your life, holy cow, this guy is just rolls out with some good golden nuggets.
I'm so humbled.
It's incredible.
Thank you, guys.
Good stuff, man.
Anybody viewing this, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Well, listen, thanks for tuning in. Remember, don't fear the process and don't fear grit. We'll see you next time.